Hi everyone, this is Hillary Ellers and I'm coming to you from Lightwork Studio. We are in the midst of our studies now around and about reincarnation. Those who never struggle, and I mean everyone does struggle to some extent, but let's just say those who struggle less. Those who have encountered less hardship, less testing, never really build the inner strength of their full human potential. So part of building your full humanness comes to you through hardship. At this point in the evolution of humankind, we're still learning through suffering. But you know, we are promised that there is a time coming when we won't have to suffer to learn, and we're going to be able to learn through awareness instead of suffering. Seth teaches this. If you remember the Seth books, I think they were of the 70s, I'm not positive, maybe 60s, but Seth, an inner teacher who channeled information into what became the books, promised us that we in time would learn how to grow because we paid attention, or we pay attention to our higher selves, our greater selves, and we work with our greater selves. Then there will not have to be as much suffering. Since it's not possible to develop your full humanness in only one lifetime, reincarnation gives us the opportunity to have all the experiences we need in order to become fully human. Karma is the law of cause and effect, and it works very closely, we said this already, with reincarnation. Think of it in this way. Everything we send out, everything we even feel, everything we think, everything we act on, radiates out from us and travels in a slightly curved line. Nothing travels in a completely straight line. Everything is slightly curved, even light. If you extend that curve out far enough, it becomes a circle. Therefore, everything that radiates from us travels in a circle and comes back to us. And that's karma, that whatever we're sending out is going to return. It's nothing outside you that's making stuff happen. God isn't punishing you. You don't have bad luck. You don't just have a bad life. It's actually what you created and radiated into the universe coming home. And what I'd like you to think about is that karma is really a form of spiritual physics. It's a type of physics. It's a law of how energy acts. So slowly we learn, slowly, for most of us, slowly we learn to make an association between how we act, what we choose to live, and what comes into our lives. Sometimes things that we choose and live return to us almost instantaneously. And my daughter is a funny example of that. Maybe funny isn't the right word, but I always have told her that she has instant karma. And she would laugh and say, yeah, I can't get away with anything. And it's true. I mean, I saw it in her life, and I see it in her life over and over. Whatever she's doing, whack it right back at her, you know. And I think in a way, when that's true for people, when their karma is fast, they actually have an opportunity to learn faster or to learn more. Then on the other hand, sometimes people's karma comes in exceedingly slowly and just creeps along. And in that case, very often, what you've sent out doesn't come back to you until another lifetime. So it's hard then to make an association between your action and what comes into your life, because what comes in may be from another life. I think it is safe to say, if you are not able to make any kind of connection with what's coming in and what you're living, probably what's coming in is from another life. And in that case, you can just think about life is sort of balancing the books of your life. Like, you know, whatever goes out, it's going to come back sooner or later. So when it comes back, it sort of balances the ledger. Life is actually a perfect mirror, reflecting back to us who we are. And, you know, people get very confused about their lives. Why? The whys. Why this? Why that? What I'd like you to begin to engage your thinking with is that whatever life is bringing to you, you created on some level. And you may think that's crazy, because you may say, I would never create all this crap that's coming into my life now. But I'm going to say to you that whatever is outside you is mirroring what is inside you. And the only way to change your life is by changing what's inside you first. In other words, what's inside you is the blueprint. So you have to change the blueprint to build a different kind of structure. You don't change the structure from an old blueprint. This is the blueprint in here. My thoughts, my feelings, especially my beliefs. Oh boy, your beliefs really mold physical matter. And you create a great deal through how you feel, how you think, but also, of course, how you act. I hope this helps. I hope it helps you understand how to change your life. If you do, I mean, we really spend so much time and energy trying to change our lives out here. working on our lives out here, instead of changing the causation of what's going on out here. So the change you want, you can have. You really can. You can have it. But it comes with, or it does come with, you creating a harmonic resonance inside yourself with what you want. What is a harmonic resonance with what you want? Okay, let's just be very, I guess, physical about it. You want to be rich, for instance. You are not going to become rich when you feel poor. You're not going to become rich when what you notice mostly is based on lack, L-A-C-K. You're not going to become rich, ever. You're going to become rich more if you feel rich. And in a way, feeling rich is probably all that counts. Can you understand what I'm saying? If you feel wealthy, then your life will give you the experience of being wealthy. I hope that makes sense. So know that your life really gives you a piercing view into who you are. And don't be hard on yourselves. Remember when we were saying in our past lesson, you have to miss the target over and over until you learn how to hit the bullseye. It's just the nature of things. So don't be hard on yourself when you feel that you have messed up your life, or you've made all these mistakes or whatever. It's all right. Keep on going. Just keep on going. Your aim will become better and better. I want you to realize that you constantly create. Now, a lot of people think they can postpone creating. For instance, if you don't know what to do about a situation, or you don't know what you want to do about a situation, you may postpone making any decision about it. I want you to realize that even if you are not taking action, you're creating. In fact, you may be creating even bigger when you don't take action than when you do. I always say it's better to take action, make a mistake, than to do nothing. And I really see that when I'm tuning into people and working with people, that things would be a lot better if they were swimming instead of dog paddling. That their lives would begin to go much better. And if you start out swimming in a direction you don't want, you'll realize it rather quickly, and you can change directions. But when you aren't swimming, you don't know if you're heading in the right or in the direction you want or not. So at least when you are in action, you get feedback from the universe, and it helps you mold and shape and form other actions if you need those. I sometimes think that we're somewhat like children who've been put in the seat and behind the wheel of these huge earth-moving machines. And we don't know how to drive them. And in the beginning, we make all kinds of boo-boos and disasters happen because we don't know how to handle these earth-moving machines. And I say that the earth-moving machine is representing how powerful you are. You're powerful. You are powerful. And you are creating powerfully in your life. So it takes a while for the kids to learn how to drive the machines, right? Takes us quite a while to learn how to direct our power. So we create all the time, even if we're not taking action. Even the most subtle kind of feeling or thought within us, just the tiniest ripple, like a soft little breeze, we're creating with that. I want to encourage you to realize, and this is one of the last things my spiritual teacher told me, and she sent a message from the hospital when she was dying. And she told our group, we had a little small group that studied with her. She said that she was shown that everyone was doing the best that they knew how to do. And for her, that was a big realization. She was a Scorpio, and she could be really intense about things. So I really trust that everyone is doing the best they know how. Almost everyone who believes in reincarnation is curious about their other lifetimes, and I feel there are definite ways we can begin to know about them. That life does, in fact, give us a lot of clues about who and what we are. Hey, I stayed in the now with it. Life gives us a lot of clues about who and what we are in other lifetimes. So let's look at some of these things, because I feel like this can help you. First of all, what do you notice about setting an intention to know? That's very important. Your subconscious holds all the information about everything you've ever experienced in any part of the now. In other lifetimes, your subconscious can help you link into that information. And your subconscious is very much like a pet or an animal. It needs to know what you want, and then it will try to fulfill your wishes. It will. So here's some suggestions. If you want to know more about your other lifetimes, you can go into meditation. But when you do, set your intention very clearly for what you want. For instance, these are just examples. Number 1, I want to discover more about my other lifetimes. You put that out right as you go into meditation and feel it. Number 2, which lifetimes have influenced my present life the most? Number 3, have I known, and it's like fill in the blank, have I known so-and-so in another life? What was our relationship about, and what have we carried over? Number 4, What are the strongest themes from my other lives? And number 5, does my problem with, and then again, fill in the blank. Does my problem with so-and-so, and it can be a person or it can be a situation. Does my problem with so-and-so relate to other lives? If so, how? Those are all great intentions, great questions. Now, there's also some other kinds of ways that you can access your other lifetimes. Now, whenever you begin going after information on your other lifetimes, be sure to write down what you're getting. And I hope you are recording anything at all that comes through for you when you're meditating or contemplating or riding your bike or taking a shower. Those are all great times to get awareness. So be sure and write down about the awarenesses you're having. And okay, another way to access other lifetimes is through your imagination. Now, people sometimes think I'm crazy when I say use your imagination. One time I was teaching a woman to meditate, and she said to me, "You keep using the word imagine." She said it, you know, like this is something bad. You keep using the word imagine. And I was really trying to help her get it, that you can imagine. And you can go to a very real place through your imagination. You know, your imagination comes from something. It comes from something. And the imagination you have gets you there. Don't be afraid to use it. Use your imagination. Okay, write about, let's say, something you imagine, a story that you completely imagine about your life, another life you've had. Just write a story, make up one. You're the princess, or you're the scullery maid, or you are whoever you are, but write about the story, or you're the Prince Charming, whoever you are. And after you write about this story, really give it some credence, because don't pay as much attention to the culture or the time frame, but pay attention to the theme of your story. What role were you living in that life? And what was your life like or about? I can guarantee you there will be some accuracy for you in that. Have you ever traveled? This is another way you get clues to a new place. And how did you feel when you immediately encountered that new place? Sometimes you may have lived in that place in one of your other lifetimes. Especially if you have a strong reaction toward the positive or negative about any place, you probably have some other life connection to it. Or have you ever gone somewhere and had a certain sense of direction, even if you've never been there before? That's another clue. You probably have been there. What time in history are you drawn to? Or times in history do you feel very attracted to or repelled by? I can almost guarantee you those are times you've lived. What about themes that you enjoy in a book, a movie, What kinds of stories and themes do you like to see in movies, or do you like to read about? You're being drawn to your own past or other lifetimes. Not past, other lifetimes. Are you drawn to a particular period of time in terms of fashion, music, art, culture? You probably have a connection there through a lifetime. I remember one time my oldest son, my oldest child, in school, he was in elementary school. The school had an exhibit, and it was traveling around in like a mobile trailer, or I guess a big truck or something. And the exhibit was of Japan. And it was like an exhibit where there was a tea ceremony happening. And the kids were going in and seeing the exhibit. And, you know, the people in the exhibit had on the Japanese attire, and the setting was Japanese and all of that. And my son came home from school, and he was so deeply impressed with it. And he just loved it. He lived it. I know he did. That was something very familiar for him. So these are all clues we're covering. And let's talk about another way that you can touch in. This is a really powerful way, through hypnosis. This is one of the most direct routes I have ever taken to touch into other lifetimes. And I had the strongest, clearest impression and the strongest emotional reaction I've ever had to any other lifetime when I was hypnotized. And it was a little hard for me to believe. And I remember at the end of my hypnosis session, I told the hypnotist, "I'm not sure, do you think it was really real?" And she looked at me like she couldn't believe me, and she said, "After how hard you cried, you're asking, was this real?" It was real. I know it was. I was a Native American woman, young Native American woman, and I was with a small group of women. And the men had left us because it was a time of war. And we were having to relocate our encampment. And it was something that was done every year, that our little group had to relocate because of winter. And we had to pass through this passage in the mountains. And if we waited too late to go through the passage would freeze over and no one would be able to get through. And living on one side of the passage would have been too difficult. So we went into our journey to go through this passage, and I went into hard labor and began to give birth. And I had to stay behind. And so when I stayed behind, I was trapped on the wrong side of the passage. And in order to survive, the others went on without me. I gave birth to a son, but we had nothing to eat or drink. And very soon I had no milk in my breast to feed my baby, and my baby died. And soon after, not too long after, I died. And I died with just a totally broken heart. And I was so sad that I couldn't keep my baby alive. And that was what came through to me in hypnosis. And I believe something like that, if not that exact circumstance, something like that happened to me. And believe me, food is a tremendous issue for me. So I think I have gone hungry in quite a few lifetimes. So let's stop here, and we're going to pick back up on our lesson again. We're not finished yet. I hope you're enjoying this lesson on reincarnation, and I hope it's stirring up a lot of thought in you about your own other lifetimes. Thank you. Bye-bye now. Let's do a little guided meditation together. So just begin to relax. Imagine right now that you are stepping into your body, really filling your body out. Maybe this is the first time today that you have taken time to really feel your body. So feel it. And imagine now that you are just allowing yourself to relax. Do whatever you need to do to help your body relax. Allow your breathing to be very deep. And now allow yourself to be aware of how it feels to breathe. How does it feel to breathe? Feel how good it feels to breathe. Every incoming breath is bringing with it a soothing wave of relaxation, washing over and through your entire body. Every incoming breath is bringing a soothing wave of relaxation through your entire body. Every outgoing breath is carrying with it all of the tension of the day, all out and away from you. From this deeply relaxed space, you are able to be aware of many things. Using your imagination, allow yourself now to create a little video of one of your other lifetimes. Just see yourself as you are in this other life. And then pay attention to what is happening to you or around you. Give yourself permission to completely use all of your imagination. Make up your story, your little video. See yourself as the star of the story. And see what is happening to you. And you may create an ending to the story or not. You may leave your story open-ended, or you may create an ending to your story. Now gradually begin to return and bring your story with you, your little video you created. Bring any feeling or thought you have regarding it back with you and begin to return to your surface level of consciousness. Begin to return to your surface level of consciousness. And you can do whatever helps you to come back, stretch, yawn, touch your face, rub your hands together, touch your legs. When you're ready, open your eyes. I hope you write about your story, okay? Please do. And just imagine that something about your story is true. Thank you. Take care.